Joining me now, Leland Vittert, Chief Washington anchor and host of On Balance with Leland Vittert. Leland, one argument being made, at least by Hunter Biden's defense team, is if his name wasn't Hunter Biden, we would not be seeing these charges against him. Let's start there.
Perhaps, although there's a lot of people charged with tax evasion, and we're now seeing that this wasn't just forgetting to file your taxes like we were told. This was a scheme to allegedly divert millions of dollars from what should have been rightfully paid to the government and contributed by Hunter Biden to the taxpayer fund to his own lifestyle. And the fact that he was buying drugs with it and everything else, I'm not sure that argument really carries a lot of weight. The flip side is he wouldn't have had all the money if his name wasn't Hunter Biden either. So he seems to want to have all of the privileges of having his name be Hunter Biden and none of the consequences, which is that you're a public figure, and when public figures do wrong things, they are exposed for doing those wrong things. And then we are told over and over and over again that no one is above the law by Democrats, especially as it relates to the activities of Donald Trump. It's unclear how you argue nobody's above the law, and then clearly somebody broke the law. Even his own lawyers aren't disputing this in terms of the tax charges, and they're arguing, though, that he should be below the law, above the law. It's unclear. I think the bigger problem for the White House and what you're not seeing here is the understanding that people kind of get politicians trade on their name, right? Everybody kind of knows that happens in Washington. That's baked in. And people have friends or relatives who have problems, as clearly Hunter Biden did. But not paying your taxes is something that kind of really grates on people in a different way than just a normal scandal about lifestyle, because we all pay taxes, even though we all don't like to pay taxes. And the fact that somebody who's making millions of dollars a year thinks he's above the law and doesn't have to pay taxes, and he can spend it on prostitutes and drugs and pulling $3,000 a day out of ATMs, that creates a bigger issue.
Right. And people see it as, okay, you think you can play by different rules. It is easier to prosecute economic crimes. Attorneys say this every day. You follow the money trail, right? It makes sense. Due to that fact, are we likely to see these two sides come together, Biden's team go, okay, let's try this plea deal thing again?
Right. And I think you said the operative word, right? Again. And there already was a plea deal that was supposed to take care of all of this. It fell apart because the prosecutors would not agree that it closed the matter. And I think what we're going to have to try to figure out, and we'll have some former federal prosecutors on tonight to discuss this, is this really over? Because we were told when the plea deal fell apart that there could be additional charges. Now we're seeing these additional tax charges. The question is, could there be additional charges beyond that? Things like not registering as a foreign agent for his dealings with foreign governments and foreign business entities. Could there be additional charges for money laundering? Because we know that banks flagged a lot of the Biden family transactions. Are prosecutors continuing to look into the connection potentially between Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, or between Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's brother and then Joe Biden? No defense attorney, Abe Lowell, who is one of the best and one of the toughest defense attorneys in the country, represented Jared Kushner from the other side of the aisle, another son-in-law in this case of a president. No defense attorney would allow their client to plead guilty to certain crimes unless it ended the investigation, and we don't know if that's the point we're at yet.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.